First and foremost, I'm going to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Harakakodash. That belongs to the apostle, elders of Great Millstone. And some loose out to you brothers out there preaching this word to Syria and truth. All right, came across this article on RT, Russian television news. All right. It's entitled, What Pandemic? United States spent more on nuclear weapons development in 2020 than rest of the world combined, report says. The United States accounted for over half of the total nuclear weapons spending in 2020. All right, why is that? Because Great Babylon, which is America according to the America is the Great Babylon according to the Bible, Sodom and Egypt. All right. They're getting prepared for this Third World War. All right, this Third World War is going to end all wars. All right, in Esau's kingdom. All right, this Third World War is going to basically take Esau out. All right, and simultaneously bring in Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai is he's going to basically crack them skies and basically take down these governments on the whole planet Earth and establish his kingdom. All right. Putting you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans on top. All right. And these other nations are going to be on the bottom. All right. We're not going to be subjected under the curses that's written in Deuteronomy 28th chapter. All right. So just by me, reading this article, reading this article that these countries are basically gearing up for this Third World War. All right, the United States accounted for over half of the total nuclear weapons spending in 2020. The $37.4 billion that went toward its nuclear arsenal beat and combined expenditure of the 8 other nuclear powers, a new report says. The majority of that whopping sum, roughly 5% of the country's total military spending last year, was dispersed in defense contracts to private corporations. Nearly a third, around $13.7 billion, was awarded to contractor Northrop Grumman, which is building a new intercontinental nuclear weapon system. All right. According to the report titled Complicit 2020 Global Nuclear Spending and published on Monday by advocacy group International Campaign to Abolish Nuclear Weapons, nuclear armed countries collectively spent $72.6 billion of these weapons last year, an uptick of $1.4 billion on the previous year. The U.S. spent more than 3 times the figure dished out by its closest competitor, China. And Russia was listed third place at $8 billion, while UK spent around $6.2 billion, the report says. All right, so China, Russia, UK, and these other nuclear countries, nuclear capability countries, they have these nuclear weapons. Ultimately, they're going to shoot all their nuclear weapons on America. All right. The ICAB report calculated that nuclear-armed states, which also include France, Israel, India, Israel, Pakistan, North Korea, together spent more than 137 per minute on atomic weapons as pandemic raged in 2020. All right. So I'm reading this tweet right here. Susie Snyder, U.S. and State Department budget testimony yesterday as $10 billion for global health. That's less than 1/3 of what the U.S. spent on nuclear weapons last year. Okay. So all these countries are gearing up for World War III. All right. So going right to the scriptures here. This is Revelation chapter 9, verse 14. Saying to the sixth angel which had the trumpet, loose the 4 angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. You see a heavy uptick of chariot sightings, what you call so-called, what the world calls so-called UFOs, UAPs. All right, they're actually the chariots of the Heavenly Father, and the angels are driving in those chariots. All right, and they're also working on the minds of these government leaders, man. All right, and the four angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year, for to slay the third part of men. And that third part of men goes into Esau, Edom. All right. Before the flood, you had three classes of men. You had the sons of the power. All right. Which was Noah. All right, Noah. All right. I mentioned the flood. Noah was a son of the Most High through the righteous line. All right. You had the sons of men, which are the other nations. You had the sons of the wicked. All right, which is Esau, Edom. All right. Coming from Cain. All right, the serpent. All right, those are the third part of men. All right, the sons of the wicked. Okay. And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them. All right, and that goes into the thermonuclear missiles. All right, it's gonna be 200,000, which was basically 200 million missiles are gonna be used. All right, and that's all these countries. That's the arsenal. All right, that's the arsenal of these countries. Missile arsenal. All right. Verse 17. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire and of jacinth and of brimstone, and the heads of the horses were heads of lions, and out of their mouth issued fire and fire and smoke and brimstone. All right. So when the missile was shot off, John is describing what the missile looked like in his words. All right. So fire and brimstone, and Jason came out of the missile to prepare to propel the missile. All right, when it's basically flying, to hit its intended target. All right, so when you see a missile, it's smoke and brimstone and fire coming out of it to propel the missile. Okay. By these three was the third part of men killed by the fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone which issue out of their mouths. For the power is in their mouths. Okay, that's the nuclear. The nuclear tip. All right, that's where you had the warheads. All right. And in their tails, for their tails are like unto serpents, and they had heads, and with them they do hurt. All right, so when these missiles hit their intended target, it's gonna hurt, because when they explode, that's like over 1 million degrees Fahrenheit, man. All right, and imagine what that's gonna do to the human body. All right, so that hurts, pain. Okay. Verse 20, and the rest of the men which were not killed by these plagues, yet repented not of the works of their hands. So John is telling you that, Apostle John is telling you that the whole world is not going to be destroyed by these missiles. All right. The Lord is only going to destroy, fully, is only going to destroy Great Babylon, which is America, and, them gutter rats over there in Israel, man. Israel's going to be destroyed off the map as well. The land, okay? And the rest of the men were not killed by these plagues, yet repented not of their works, that they should not worship devils and idols of gold and silver and brass and stone and of wood, which neither can see nor hear nor walk. All right. So you're gonna have heathens, and you're gonna have a lot of our people, that's in these other parts of the world, like Central South America, you got Israelites going to be still worshiping idols, all right, until Yahweh Shah sends out his ground troops, which is what? The prophets, all right. And the prophets are going to clean up the earth, man. We're going to get rid of the undesirables, the rebels, purging out the rebels, all right. And that's in the book of Ezekiel. Verse 21, neither repented of their murders, nor of their sorceries, nor of their fornication, nor of their thefts. All right. Let's get Joel, 2nd chapter. Start at verse 2 and 1. Joel 2 and 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong. There has not been ever the like, neither shall there be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. And those missiles are a plague, man. All right, that's basically the last plague, man. There's a lot of people are gonna be destroyed. All right, and this plague that's coming is gonna trump all the wars. World War I, World War II, and all the previous wars. Of sword and shield. All those previous wars in the past. World War III. All right, it's going to trump all of that. All right, and also the thermonuclear destruction is also the second death, and that's in 2 Peter. What's that? The 3rd chapter, 2nd and 3rd chapter. All right, the second death. All right, the first death was the flood. All right, in Noah's time. Verse 3, a fire devoured before them, and behind them a flame burneth. Now Joel is describing the missile, the causing, the effects of the missiles. A fire devoured before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them. So the Garden of Eden, it was flourishing in life. All right, it was life. Okay. You had the birds chirping, had, the squirrels running up trees, and, had, people talking and, marrying and giving in marriage, eating, drinking, and behind them a desolate wilderness. So when these missiles hit their targets, they're going to leave a desolate wilderness. All right. The nuclear wind is going to destroy everything. All right, thus causing the desolate wilderness. Yet nothing shall escape them. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses and of horsemen. So shall they run. Okay, like the noise of the chariots on the top of the mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame, a fire that devoureth the stubble, and as strong people set in battle array. All right. So the armor of the missiles, man, the casing, the armor of the missiles, the casing of it, look like they're in battle array, man. Before their face, the people shall be much pain. All faces shall gather blackness. All right. So when these nuclear missiles are shot off, the people that's seeing these missiles, their face gonna gather blackness, man. All right. They're basically gonna be scared. His heart's gonna be failing for fear. Verse 7, they shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like a man of war. And they shall march every one on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. So all those missiles that's gonna be shot off, they have their intended target, and they're not gonna miss. All right. And Yahweh The Most High is going to be, basically guiding the missiles. Okay. Neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk everyone in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, it shall not be wounded. Okay, so all these missiles that's going to be shot off, they're not going to crash into one another. All right, they're going to be hitting a perfect target, man. Okay. They shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up the houses. Upon the houses they shall enter in the windows like a thief. The earth shall quake before them. All right. So when these missiles hit, the whole earth is gonna reel to and fro like a drunkard. And that's the book of Isaiah. The heavens shall tremble. The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. Okay. And the Lord shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great. So those missiles are a part of the Lord's army, man. That's his it's the Lord of Sabaoth, man, the Lord of armies. Exodus 15:3, the Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. For his camp is very great, for he is strong and executeth his word. For the day of the Lord is great and very terrible. Who can abide it? All right. So who gonna live through these plagues, man? All right. But the Lord has those elect that he's gonna protect, doing all of that. Let me get that one in Isaiah real to and fro. Isaiah 24. Isaiah 24:20, the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. See that? So when these missiles hit, let me start at verse 19. The earth is utterly broken down, the earth is clean dissolved, and what's going to do that? That fire from the missiles. The earth is moving exceedingly. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage. And the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. Yeah, Esau's kingdom is going to fall and not rise again. All right, after this third world war. And Yahweh